Charlie Munger, legendary billionaire investor and vice chairman of Berkshire Hathaway, famously said, "The first $100,000 is a B, but you gotta do it." Here's the part no one tells you. According to a recent Federal Reserve study, less than 30% of Americans ever cross that $100,000 net worth line. Why? Most people never make it. Not because they do not work hard, but because they fall into the same 3 avoidable mistakes that stall their wealth for years. Are you making them without even realizing it? And right after that, there's one habit almost every first-time $100,000 builder shares, but almost nobody talks about it. I'll share that insight in just a minute. If you want to unlock your first $100,000 and set yourself up for $200,000, $500,000, and eventually $1 million, this is the breakdown you need. Now let's break this journey down step by step, so you do not just wish for 6 figures. You actually build them. Step 1. Start investing early, even if it feels pointless. The very first hurdle, just getting started. A lot of aspiring wealth builders think investing is for when you have extra money, but that's like saying you'll put wood on the fire only after it's throwing off heat. The truth is, almost no one ever feels like they have enough to begin. The real reason most people struggle for years is that they keep putting investing off, delaying their shot at real wealth year after year. If that's ever been you, pause and drop a rocket emoji in the comments right now. Let's see how many of us have felt stuck at this stage. That's the first major mistake. Waiting to invest until it feels right. Instead, to commit to putting anything, into an investment account as soon as possible. It does not matter if it is $20, $100, or $500 a month at first. According to research from Vanguard, even small automatic contributions outpace one-time lump sums over time, because they establish an investing habit and harness the power of dollar-cost averaging. Here's the math. If you begin with just $5,000 in an investment account, earning 10% a year, that's about $500 in growth in year 1. That may seem like nothing. In fact, you could earn that $500 just picking up some weekend shifts or a freelance gig, so it's easy to wonder if it's even worth bothering. But this brings up the second wealth-building mistake: underestimating the power of compound interest. Step 2. Respect compound interest, even when results seem small. Most people focus on percentage returns, not dollar growth. Big mistake. When you're starting with small amounts, 10% might mean just $500 in year 1, but as your portfolio grows, those same percentages translate into real money. At $100,000 invested at a 10% return, that's $10,000 a year, enough to rival a major raise at work, or even a chunk of your annual salary. At $1 million, that same 10% would be $100,000 a year in growth, more than many people earn from full-time jobs. Compound growth accelerates as the dollars compound, not just the rate. That's why so many wealth builders say the first $100,000 is the hardest. Nearly all of it is contributed by you. After that, the snowball of growth starts rolling downhill faster, and the returns really become visible. You'll start noticing that your investments are earning more for you in a year than you could in months of work. That's when the process becomes thrilling, not tedious. But how rare is it, really, to make it over the $100,000 line? According to a 2023 report from Bankrate, less than 13% of Americans under 40 hit $100,000 in net worth. Most stall out far earlier because they never develop the right habits or give compounding enough time to work. If you're finding these steps useful so far, hit the like button below. That way, more aspiring $100,000 builders can find this and start their own journey. Here's a pattern break. Let's anchor all this abstract talk in a real-world example. Imagine Jane. Jane is 28, works a marketing job making $55,000 a year. She started out feeling overwhelmed, saving $250 a month into her 401k, plus another $150 a month in a Roth IRA. She kept her cost of living modest, drove a used car, chose a roommate for a few years, and prioritized direct depositing her raises into investments rather than lifestyle upgrades. within 6 years, using regular boring index funds averaging 8% returns. She passed the $100,000 net worth mark. That's $28,800 in direct contributions and over $71,000 in market growth and employer matches, proving it's the combination of steady saving, compound growth, and time that turns regular people into first-time $100,000 earners. Step 3. Increase your savings rate. Control the inputs. The fastest lever you control on this journey is your savings rate. Early on, nearly 80% of the dollars in your investment account will come directly from your own deposits, not from investment growth. That's why it's so important to automate saving, boost your income, and be intentional with expenses at the beginning. Want to break through $100,000 faster? Bump your savings rate from 10% to 20% of your take-home pay. For example, if you bring home $4,000 a month, that's $800 saved per month and over 5 years, not counting growth. That's $48,000 contributed. Doubling your rate can literally have the time needed to reach 6 figures. Thanks to the power of compounding on larger sums from the get-go. Here's something most people miss. Every $100 you do not spend on a mindless dinner out or some impulse online buy is another $100 that, if invested, keeps working for you. Invested at 10% over 30 years. That's about $1,744, just from that single decision. That's why, after a year or two, you may find yourself thinking a lot harder before buying things you do not value long-term. These small choices add up faster than you think. Step 4. Seize opportunities. Leverage options only wealth provides. Here's where having a foundation, money already saved, unlocks opportunities others can't touch. Suppose your job pays $50,000 a year, but a shot at a $100,000 commission-only job opens up. Without a safety net, you simply cannot take that risk. But with enough savings, 6 to 12 months of expenses, or a $100,000 cushion, you have the flexibility to pursue higher upside or weather storms if things go sideways. Maybe you want to start a business, but never felt like you could risk it. Or a friend invites you to invest in a real estate deal, buy a house under market value, or launch a side project. Having substantial savings, like that first $100,000, means you can afford to say yes to opportunities others must pass on. Is there a life or money risk you wish you could take, but cannot yet? Let me know in the comments. I'm curious which barriers are holding most of us back. A quick pause for a quote, and you might want to screenshot this for later. Compound interest rewards the persistent, not the privileged. Most people think you need luck to build wealth. The reality, it's consistency, not privilege, that makes the difference. If that resonates, share this video with someone who needs to hear it. Now, before we round out our 5 steps, here's a curiosity loop. The final step on your $100,000 journey is the one almost no one talks about. Yet nearly every first-time $100,000 builder I've interviewed has done it, even if they could not name it. Stick with me. I'll break down exactly what it is and why it works in the next minute. Step 5. Think like a long-term investor and embrace the boring habits. Here's the hidden habit. Almost every $100,000 earner I know, whether in my own audience or in real financial surveys, built their wealth by automating boring, repeatable behaviors. They set up automatic transfers, upped their contributions after every raise, and made saving the default, not the exception. They were not chasing crypto, day trading, or making dramatic bets. Instead, they trusted the process, stayed invested through market ups and downs, and kept increasing contributions anytime their income rose. When you reach $100,000, the heavy lifting starts to shift from your hands to your investments. The majority of future growth will come from compound interest instead of your direct efforts. You might notice it's easier to keep saving because the progress feels real. You're seeing thousands, not tens or hundreds of dollars added to your net worth each quarter. At this point, you can decide whether to let off the gas a bit and focus more on optimizing your investing strategy for your lifestyle goals. Or keep pushing for $200,000, $500,000, and beyond. And remember, watching every penny is only temporary for most people. Once you pass this milestone, you earn the privilege to relax a little, because your habits and portfolio are finally working for you. If you're under $100,000 net worth, or you remember being stuck there, scroll down and comment. What's been your single biggest challenge or obstacle trying to reach $100,000? Let's build some honest community stories in the comments. As a quick recap, your path to $100,000 looks like this. 1. Invest early, however small. 2. Harness the power of compounding. 3. Ramp up your savings rate. 4. Leverage your growing options for new opportunities and upside. 5. Automate and stick with boring, repeatable investing habits over the long haul. Most people never reach this milestone because they fall for the same mistakes. Waiting for the perfect moment to start, underestimating compound growth, avoiding moderate risks, and never building simple automatic routines. You can break that cycle starting today. If you want a simple, no-frills $100,000 tracker spreadsheet to map your own journey, just plug in your numbers and see when you'll hit the milestone. The download link is right below this video. That's my gift to you, because tracking your progress makes the results real and motivates you to keep going. And don't forget, subscribe to Mark Invests. The next video will show you step-by-step how to pick and automate your first investments, with real-life examples and 2 different risk levels. You won't want to miss it. To wrap up, let's quickly review the blueprint. Invest early, regardless of the amount. Leverage compound interest. It's not about how much you start with, it's about starting now. Make increasing your savings rate a priority, automate as much as possible, and do not sleep on the power of even small, boring habits. As your investments grow, use your newfound net worth as leverage for bigger opportunities and to unlock more flexibility in your life. Finally, set up those automations and stick with them. Here's how to take action. Today, commit to opening an investment account. Even if you can start with just $20 or $100. This week, calculate your current savings rate, then raise it by at least 1%, and set an automatic transfer into your account. Over the next 30 to 90 days, track your actual contributions and review progress using the free $100,000 tracker spreadsheet linked below. Over the next 6 to 12 months, revisit your numbers. Can you increase your contributions with every raise bonus or windfall? Use simple tools like Mint, Personal Capital, or the tracker to measure your timeline. Remember, you will not see instant results, but most people who follow this plan notice momentum within 12 to 18 months. The journey from $0 to $100,000 is almost always the hardest. After that, compounding accelerates your progress naturally. Think of $100,000 as your launch pad, not your finish line. If you're ready for more tactical breakdowns on exactly where to put your next dollar, or want to learn hands-on ways to optimize your portfolio, subscribe to Mark Invests right now and turn on notifications. Next video, I'm diving into step-by-step guides for automating your investments and building a plan for your first million. Comment below. What's been your biggest challenge reaching $100,000? Let's help each other break through. And grab your free $100,000 tracker spreadsheet in the description below. It's a practical tool for mapping out your own wealth journey. And it's my way of saying thanks for being part of the community. This content is for educational purposes only and is not personalized financial advice. For any major investment moves, talk to a licensed professional about your unique situation.